there's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
Intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
Greetings, beautiful people, you marvelous citizens of the planet Earth. Welcome to the Lucid Lens. Today's video is going to be a bit different. As I was chopping veggies for my salad for lunch today, I was struck with an epiphany. I was contemplating the events unfolding around the world centered around these so-called drones in New Jersey, when I realized this all felt too familiar, as if it's happened before. And then it struck me. It's the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence is a series of numbers where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, starting with 0 and 1. Each step of the sequence grows at the rate that approaches what's called the golden ratio. This ratio has profound significance because it appears throughout nature, art, the structure of the universe, and nearly everything in it, including us. It's seen in the arrangement of the petals on a flower, the growth of seashells, and down to the dimensions of DNA's double helix. It's found in the proportions of the human body, and all the way up to the structure of galaxies and beyond. I'm going to get a little philosophical, but stick with me. I believe what we could be experiencing with this event is history repeating itself as a Fibonacci sequence, a natural cycle of growth. Through this lens, we are seeing the entire history of the UFO phenomena repeat itself in a condensed, accelerated, and multiplied representation in a very short period of time. Thinking back to the examples earlier, the entire long history of UFOs up till now could be visualized as a galaxy which takes a long time to form. We're now experiencing a reflection of that. We're seeing that history all within the timescale of a flower, and much more amplified as the spiral continues exponentially. Think about it. The modern UFO phenomena kicked off in the mid-40s, where normal people began seeing unexplainable things in the skies that were still kind of familiar. Like our current technology, but also seemingly much more advanced. This time it's drones, which are indeed familiar, except they seem to be far more advanced than any known drones, and are doing things even experts can't explain. Even more extraordinary objects were seen back then and today, but the main focus was on the familiar stuff. In both cases, the federal government became concerned, saying they would get to the bottom of things, but then dismissed sightings with careful language stating most, keyword most, are misidentifications of known objects. Then it wasn't just ordinary citizens coming forward saying they were seeing these objects, but now also trained observers and what most would call credible individuals, such as military base commanders, police officers, the Coast Guard, local, state, and national representatives, and news reporters. After the phenomena continued, those who had been studying it began to look back through history and noticed similar events. In the grand history of UFOs, these were the airships in the 1800s and other sightings going back to antiquity and early human history. Today, we see these earlier sightings were at military bases in the UK, Colorado, Langley, and others going back years. After decades of UFO sightings in the 1900s, we began to have military and other high-ranking officials come forward and speak about the reality of the situation. And today, we see the beginning of the same. As this drone situation continues, we are already starting to see the mention of UAPs and non-human intelligence enter the conversation. In both cases, the official stance of the federal government hasn't changed. It's still nothing to see here. Except remember that history is being amplified. It's all happening very quickly over a shorter period of time, and the whole world is watching. This is the entire UFO timeline condensed into a matter of months. Except the conversation is much too loud to be silenced. It might be about that time for, as Matthew Pines put it, a coup de grace. The coming forward of someone that might be what breaks through the uncertainty and definitively confirms this reality for the masses. I just wonder what country that's going to come from. Now, I'm no oracle, but looking at what's transpiring, how these events are unfolding, we're due for something big to either quiet this down and reset all the noise, or finally cut through it with the truth. And even if something somehow shuts this current worldwide flap down, whether on its own or something else, remember that sequence will continue to play out over and over, and the next one will make this look like child's play. At least that's what the golden ratio says. Anyway, I had to dump this out of my brain because it just felt right, and we'll see pretty soon what actually happens. That's it for today. As always, be good to yourselves and each other, and I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.